This is booked for drama, where stories burn, hearts break, the tea is always hot and never a part 2. Today we're diving into He Chose Her? I'll marry a billionaire and make him regret it all. Let's go. Chapter 1. My ex, Jake, found his dead high school sweetheart in the earthquake rubble while we were supposed to be helping with disaster relief. That night, he left a note, then jumped off a building with our son, Mikey. That's when I realized neither of them ever really saw me. I woke up again, back when we first talked about splitting up. This time, I didn't hesitate. I agreed to the divorce and dumped 3-year-old Mikey right back on his doorstep. 5 years later, I ran into him again at an event. He was holding hands with his precious Lily, his high school sweetheart, dragging Mikey along. 5 years, Bella Sterling, and you're already this desperate? He sneered. Heard I was here and just had to show up, hoping to snag another rich guy? Mikey chimed in, Mom. I mean, Miss Sterling, just leave my dad alone. We're a happy family now. I ignored them, grabbing my little girl, Pippa, who was sneaking snacks, and headed back to my seat. Jake blew a fuse, his knuckles white as he gripped Lily's hand. Bella, how low can you go? 5 years, and you've already got a kid that big? You're so pathetic, trying to make me jealous. Who's the deadbeat dad? Some loser you found in a trailer park? Seeing Jake Foster again after 5 years gave me whiplash. I instinctively ducked to the side. He was holding Lily Summers' hand, and on the other side was 8-year-old Mikey. People at the event flocked around them, offering compliments. Jake handled it all smoothly, a far cry from the clueless kid he used to be. Mr. Foster, you're the richest man in Atlanta. Sky's the limit. Soon you'll be the richest man in the US. And this must be your wife and son. If your ex-wife knew how great you were doing, she'd be kicking herself. Serves her right for being so blind. Absolutely. The 3 of you make such a beautiful family. You're the ideal Atlanta family. The boy doesn't look anything like your ex-wife. He looks just like Mrs. Summers. Lily's face twitched a little at that, and she gripped her purse tighter. A strained smile plastered on her face. Mikey hadn't learned to put on a polite act. He glared at the guy and snapped, Are you blind? My stepmom and my dad are just engaged, not married yet. The guy stammered an apology. I winced, hiding in the corner. After 5 years, they still weren't married. Everyone knew Jake was obsessed with Lily. I was the only one too dumb to see it. When he heard Lily was in the disaster zone, he dragged me and Mikey to help, but it was really all about finding Lily. He searched for 3 days, finally finding her body in the wreckage. Jake and Mikey broke down, sobbing over her corpse. That same night, they both jumped off the roof. After waking up again, Jake couldn't wait to give me half our stuff so he could chase after Lily again. If he loved Lily so much, why weren't they married after 5 years? We all know how much Mr. Foster loves Mrs. Summers. He even donated $300 million to her charity last month. Why haven't you two tied the knot yet? Someone in the crowd asked the question I was wondering about. Jake's eyes flashed with something I couldn't quite read. He replied smoothly, I want to keep working hard, give Lily even more. She's the love of my life, and I don't want to settle for less. So, that's how you treat someone you love. The Jake I knew never had that level of ambition. We barely scraped by on our salaries. I suggested he sell his patents, and he called me a shallow gold digger. I told him to build a company and secure a better future for Mikey, and he yelled, You think I'm a loser now? Why didn't you marry some hotshot CEO in the first place? Now I get it. He wasn't lazy or unambitious. He just didn't care enough to make the effort for me. Chapter 2. Shaking my head, I spotted my daughter, Pippa, sneakily grabbing a piece of fruit. I walked over and scooped her up. You had a big breakfast this morning. No more snacks, or you won't have room for dinner. Just then, I felt someone staring at me. Instinctively, I put Pippa down and turned around. Jake was heading my way, followed by his entourage. Pippa, seeing me distracted, made a funny face and scurried away with her plate of fruit. Jake frowned. Bella, what are you doing here? Now that you see I'm doing well, you're trying to leech off me? He arched an eyebrow, looking at me with a smug look. He'd already decided I was here to latch onto his success, and a flicker of satisfaction crossed his face. But his words were pure poison. I gave you a huge chunk of the money when we divorced. Isn't that enough for you? $1 million should keep you afloat for life. He glanced around the auction hall, a sudden understanding dawning on his face. So that's why you're here. You've been burning through cash for the past 5 years. Giving you all that money was a mistake. It made you wasteful. You need to find a man and get rid of your bad habits as soon as possible. 5 years later, Jake's attitude towards me was as toxic as ever. The people sucking up to Jake seized the chance to tear me down. This is Mr. Foster's ex-wife? She's nowhere near as beautiful or elegant as Ms. Summers. Doesn't look like she's done a legit day of work in her life. Totally. Someone who's so broke that they would dare come to an auction hall. You can tell what she's after. Tisk tisk tisk. Embarrassing for Mr. Foster. Women who are sluts are just trash. Security? Get this gold digger out of here. She's making the whole place look bad. Hearing all their insults, I couldn't take it anymore. I held up my phone, recording. I've got everything you just said on tape. Get ready for a court summons. Before I could finish, a sharp pain shot through my knee. I reached down to touch it, and Mikey snatched my phone. The 8-year-old grinned at me. Mom, Miss Sterling, these people are just saying what's true. You're always trying to leech off of successful people. I didn't have much feeling for Jake, but I had carried this child for 9 months. I was devastated to hear those words come out of his mouth. I took a deep breath. What did you just say? Mikey ignored me and smashed the phone on the ground. Then he shrugged innocently. You heard what you heard. He ran to Lily, hugging her around the waist and looking up at her adoringly. Mom, am I doing the right thing? My own son was calling someone else, Mom. It was too much to take in. A sharp pain flared in my chest. I winced. Jake's face flashed with a brief look of panic, but it vanished so quickly that I thought I must have imagined it. Chapter 3. Lily patted Mikey's cheek and gave me a smug smile. Bella, don't take it personally. He's just scared you're going to steal Jake away. He just likes me so much that he wants me to be his mom forever. Her smile was perfect, but the way she said that last sentence was like a slap in the face. She made sure to put her diamond ring right on top of Mikey's head. I thought back to an interview I'd seen with her on TV recently. The reporter asked her how she managed to be so happy all the time. She said, I have to thank my fiancé's ex-wife. If she hadn't left, I wouldn't have this life. Everything was telling me that Jake loved Lily so much that he couldn't bear for her to live in misery. Luckily, I wasn't in love with him anymore. I fingered the ring in my own hand, thinking about the man who had given it to me. I burst out laughing. Jake noticed the ring and his eyebrows shot down. He radiated cold fury. You don't need to wear a fake ring to impress people. I scoffed. It's not a fake. My fiancé gave it to me when we got engaged. The breath hitched in the throats of both Jake and Mikey. Jake stared at me for a long moment, then suddenly laughed. Bella, your fiancé must be a loser if he can't even afford a real diamond. Mikey chimed in with a sneer. Miss Sterling, he's a loser if he can't even afford a real diamond. Even if you can't find a hotshot like my dad, you shouldn't settle for some deadbeat who can't afford a ring. What they didn't know was that this simple band was worth billions. It was a sign that you were a member of the Foster family. I didn't want to explain. I'd be devastated if I lost the ring. But the three of them took it as proof that I'd married some penniless nobody. Lily covered her mouth, giggling. Bella, things must be really bad for you. Can't even afford food after breaking up with Jake? Lily stood on tiptoe and kissed Jake quickly. Jake, she's still your ex-wife. Why don't you give her $5 for cab fare? Jake looked at me and said slowly, lying is a bad idea, Bella. Go take a cab home and stop embarrassing yourself. Just then, the broken phone beeped. I sighed and pointed to the phone on the floor. Can I please have my phone back? My fiancé must be going crazy. I haven't texted him in so long. Yuma, that big baby. If I didn't text him for a few minutes, he would throw a fit for a long time when I went home. Mikey snorted and stomped on the phone with his expensive custom-made shoes. He looked at me with a sneer. A deadbeat control freak? When I heard that, I knew Mikey had also been reborn. That was his favorite insult. Whenever I tried to get him to do his homework or chores, he would say that. This time around, Jake and his son still chose Lily. I couldn't bear the thought that I had given birth to a son for someone else. I calmed myself and tried to keep my cool. Mikey, give me my phone back. Stop. Mikey ignored me. He kicked the phone into a nearby decorative pool. Jake glared at him and snapped, why would you do that? How's she going to get home now? Mikey shrugged. I'll just have someone buy her a new one. How much can a piece of junk be worth? Is he scared that the deadbeat fiancé will hit her? Lily saw what was happening and immediately defended him. Jake, don't be mad. It's not his fault. Don't be so mean. Lily put on her baby voice, and Jake's face immediately softened. She rummaged through her purse and pulled out a $20 bill, dropping it on the ground. Here, take this cab home. An auction isn't the right place for you. Pure humiliation. Everyone around us burst out laughing. I was the butt of the joke. Just then, a soft but angry voice rang out, Who's bullying my mommy? Pippa ran up, bit Mikey's leg as hard as she could, then ran behind me. Mikey screamed in pain, glaring at the little girl. His voice was full of resentment and ice. What did you call her? Jake froze, his breathing grew heavier. Did you pay her to be an actress? Chapter 4. Pippa rolled her eyes. An actress? I'm my mommy's good girl. You can't be bullying her. My heart, wounded by my son, started to heal. It started beating fast again. That's right. We both had new choices. They had their life, and I had mine. Why should I be hurting over someone who didn't care about me? I snapped out of it, picked Pippa up, and rubbed my face against hers affectionately. Snuck enough snacks to remember your mom now? Pippa blinked, looking guilty. What's mommy talking about? I don't understand. I heard bad people bullying mommy, so I came to help. Bah, bad people? Mikey couldn't believe his ears. His eyes widened and he pointed at Pippa, yelling, what? Say that again. She's my mom, and I'll say what I want. You got a problem with that? I glared at him, putting my other hand over Pippa's ears. She was too young to hear such foul language. Mikey looked hurt by my glare. How could you? Jake yanked Mikey back. Whose kid is this? Some trashy boyfriend? Bella, how could you? Sleeping around with deadbeats because you couldn't find a rich guy? How much did he pay you to have this kid? I'll double it. No, I'll pay 10 times as much, just give him back. Jake looked broken, his hand trembled as he held Lily's hand. I didn't care about his hand tremors. I glared at him. Jake, take your meds before going out. My fiancé is amazing, 1,000 times better than you. You're nothing to me and my family. Say those things again, and you'll regret it. Okay, Bella. Fine. Jake was so angry that he said, okay, 3 times. Just then, a waiter came over and told us to be seated. Lily rolled her eyes and started acting up, pointing at us. Everyone at the auction is someone important. When did broke people start sneaking in? Jake was the richest man in Atlanta, and everyone knew his future wife. The waiter snapped his fingers and called the security guards. Throw these 2 broke people out of here. I held Pippa tightly, on alert. You better not. We were invited by your boss. The waiter checked the list closely, but couldn't find my name. He sneered. So important that your name isn't on the list. Why don't you sit outside and wait? We'll let our boss know. It was pouring rain. Mikey had broken my phone. I would get soaked if I took Pippa outside. Pippa had been sick since she was little. It had taken a lot of money to let her do everyday things, like running around. She would catch a cold if she went out. I calmed down and tried to talk to him nicely. My fiancé isn't here yet. You'll see when he gets here. Your boss invited us. Ask him if you don't believe me. The waiter didn't say anything, but Lily did. Who did you marry that's so special that the boss has to pick you up? This auction house belongs to the Jones family. Do you know who Mr. Jones is? Jake was the richest man in Atlanta, but Mr. Jones had the most money. He rarely made public appearances because he was dignified. The waiter was confident that I was here to freeload. Why don't you leave with your kid? The auction is about to start. You're polluting the place. Are you here to make it dirty? I started to choke. Go ask your boss. It's easy. The waiters looked at each other and laughed. I wouldn't dare bother Mr. Jones. Leave with your kid now, or we'll throw you out. Pippa yelled, when my dad comes, he'll fire you. Mikey scoffed. This bratty kid has a bad temper. Why did Ms. Sterling have you? It must be hard to keep you alive. Why are you pretending to be rich? Why not go home? Lily was happy to touch Mikey's face, but he dodged her. She blushed, acting as though nothing had happened. Don't be mad. He just doesn't want anyone to be mean to me. They worry too much. They're scared someone will bully me. Who was being bullied? Wasn't I the one being given a hard time? Hadn't she been the one pushing everyone to give us a hard time? Just then, Jake spoke up. Bella, just ask me. I'll let you stay. Chapter 5. Jake's dark eyes scanned me for a few seconds, then landed on Pippa. That icy aura rolled off him again. He clenched his fists, barely holding himself back. Just beg me, and I'll let you and your brat stay and watch the show. But if you don't, he turned his head, sneering at the pouring rain outside. I'll have security throw you both out to take a shower. You? I gritted my teeth, glaring at him. The threat worked. Where the hell was Yuma Foster? His wife and kid were getting harassed, and he was nowhere to be found. Couldn't he tell I was in trouble? Did he not have any common sense? I cursed him out in my head a dozen times. I stubbornly tried to reason with the waiter. I promise I'm not lying. Just ask your boss. Why don't we do this instead? That necklace Bella is wearing looks pretty old. An auction should mean buying and selling things. If that necklace is valuable, we can add it to the auction. That would give you and your daughter a reason to stay. If it's not, everyone knew what she meant. That bitch was so sharp. She had picked the one thing I didn't want her to have. That necklace was a gift from Yuma. And it was barely worn. But to keep my daughter from getting soaked, I had no other choice. I handed the necklace to the waiter, who brought in an expert. After checking it out, he announced it was worth $10 million. They couldn't kick me out now. They led us to our seats. Of course, my seat was right next to Jake. As the auction started, Jake sneered, lowering his voice to taunt me. Bella, you're something. Wearing a $10 million necklace and flaunting it. What is it about that loser that makes him so special? Special enough for you to have a kid for? Ever since he learned I was married, Jake had been scowling. The heavy atmosphere he was radiating made everyone else afraid to speak up. Terrified of crossing this rising star. I didn't understand why he had any right to act like that. Why was he so angry? I'd been kept in the dark my whole life. Maybe fate was giving me a break, letting me meet and fall in love with Yuma. Why did he act like I was the one who had wronged him? I mirrored his sneer. Jake, are you sure you aren't jealous? Seeing me married with a kid, maybe you regret your decision? Bang! Jake stood so fast the chair fell on the floor. His loud voice startled everyone. Bella, what the hell are you talking about? Who do you think you are? I could never love you. Regret? I'll never regret anything. I've always loved Lily, got it? After he yelled, he realized everyone was staring at him. He should have been in a private box instead of the front row. After the auction resumed, Jake repeated, Bella, I don't regret anything. I'm just bored. I ignored him, but Lily was twisting her purse strap to pieces. She glared at me, silently calling me a whore who was trying to steal her fiancé. But when Jake looked her way, Lily put on an innocent look. Mikey was silently watching my daughter. The weird atmosphere didn't break until my necklace went up for auction. 20 million. Lily immediately held up a paddle. Everyone in the room knew who was in that private box, so no one else bid. Chapter 6. Lily smirked. Sorry, Bella, I just like this necklace a lot, too. Your style is not on the same level of the necklace. You should just give it to me. I frowned. My fiancé just gave me this necklace. Before I could finish, Lily was hugging Jake and batting her eyelashes. Her chest brushed against his arm. Jake, I want it. Bella was so in love with you. But now you're my fiancé. I want the necklace, but she won't give it to me. I gave a small smile. You've already bid on it. How can you say I won't give it to you? She was a master at taking things. But she still acted like she didn't know anything. Lily blinked. I'm such a ditz. She didn't see Jake's face stiffen. He had always been a sucker for her act, but his eyebrows hadn't relaxed since she had touched him. As the auctioneer raised his gavel for the third time, Lily grinned triumphantly. 100 million. A cool voice echoed from the box across the room. Lily's smile froze. Hearing that familiar voice, Pippa jumped off her chair, yelling, Daddy. I rushed over, but Jake grabbed my wrist. Jake's eyes were red. Where are you going? Is there a problem with my wife coming to see me? Yuma walked over, holding Pippa. His gaze landed on Jake's hand. My heart skipped a beat. I bit Jake's wrist hard, and he let go. As I ran over, I saw that he was trying not to cry. Cold on the surface, but he cried all the time. Jealous tears, sad tears, crying when I yelled at him, crying when he was upset. A total crybaby. I didn't care about my image anymore. I threw my arms around Yuma and kissed him hard, telling him, why are you so late? Yuma sniffled. Work stuff came up. I texted you. You never answered. His wounded eyes gazed at me, like I was the bad guy. I broke her phone. Are you the loser she ran off to? Mikey yelled. You look like some young sugar daddy. You're probably spending the money to pay for Bella, aren't you? Lily scoffed. He's right. How else would he have so much money? I snapped. Are you people crazy? Why are you bullying me? Bullying you? Yuma heard the keyword. His gaze turned icy. He scanned the group, sizing them up. Pippa hugged him tight and started telling him how they had been making fun of me. An older man wiped his forehead, hobbling over on a cane. Mr. Foster, why didn't you ask me to pick you up? Everyone started whispering. Who is that? Mr. Jones personally greeted him. I just saw them arguing. That guy, does he look like a Kennedy? That's a family fortune. Mr. Jones would be a peasant beside the Kennedys. How is someone like that in Atlanta? Mr. Jones must have invited him. I think Mr. Jake and his friends were giving Mrs. Foster a hard time. This is gonna be fun. The waiter paled. Lily cowered behind Jake, terrified. Jake took a deep breath and slowly said, "Bella, you're not a good match." Mr. Jones, who had been grinning, stopped. He wanted to kill Jake on the spot. Yuma said, "Oh," his eyelids lowered. "So the Fosters bullied my wife and now are telling me that. You haven't let go of her, have you?" Jake didn't bother hiding it. "Yeah, I just realized I'll never be able to forget Bella. You two were only together for 5 years. She could never love you. To people with your family, she's just a burden. You'll fight, and you'll always threaten to ruin her life. So what? I should divorce Yuma now? And stick with you, watching you two hurt me again and again for Lily?" I clapped for Jake's shamelessness. He knew we had so much history. But in his last life, he still abandoned me and sacrificed himself and our son. I wanted to die, but I couldn't. I still had to take care of 4 people. His parents also yelled at me every day, saying that I was the one who had killed their son. Did I force him to go to the disaster zone? Did I make him commit suicide with his son? Did I force him to lie to me for so many years? Fate gave me a second chance to meet the love of my life. And he was saying that Yuma wasn't right for me. What a joke. Yuma wouldn't kill me as a fit of anger? Chapter 7. I sighed, calming myself. The first thing you did after 5 years was to harass me and my daughter. You say you regret it. Do you remember my birthday? Do you remember my favorite color? Do you remember where I wanted to go? Do you remember what I loved to eat? Jake froze, unable to say anything. I looked at Yuma, who was gazing at me. You only see that Yuma is jealous. But you don't see him peeling shrimp for me, making me dinner every day when he's so busy, or comforting my daughter. When I got my period, you didn't come home for a week. But Yuma stayed up with me all night and had someone make medicine to treat my cramps. Could you do that? I just didn't know I loved you back then. Jake sputtered, trying to find an excuse. I didn't know I loved you. Can you give me another chance? I thought I loved Lily. But when I saw you kissing another man, my heart was ripped in two. Just give me another chance. Let's go back to how we were. Yuma and Pippa were furious. I stopped them from attacking. I didn't let Jake get away with his fake feelings. It's not that you just realized that you love me. Jake looked confused. I said, you just can't handle the fact that I can meet someone this great after leaving you. You're jealous. Jake's loving mask cracked. He lost control and stormed off. But he left a warning. I'll prove myself. Lily fearfully followed, but his son gave me one last look. Mr. Jones apologized. Then he copied the security footage of the harassment and fired the waiters and security guards. Back home, I tossed the lawsuit to my lawyer. After I took a shower, I found Yuma in a towel, bawling on the bed. Pippa politely played with Mrs. Jones. We were alone. I sighed and walked over, trying to soothe him. I promise they mean nothing to me. Not even a little bit. Yuma looked up, his voice pathetic and sad. That slut said she would come back. And maybe you'll have pity on her and maybe. He started crying again, and I frantically tried to wipe his tears. The big baby grabbed me, kissing me hundreds of times. The next morning, I could barely walk. But Yuma wasn't satisfied. He created a social media account and started posting about his life, under the name, Yuma and my beloved Bella. Pippa was unhappy. What about me? Yuma huffed. Can't you just make your own? Pippa looked at me. This is your great husband? I laughed. He's your dad, too. Chapter 8. Mr. Jones used to work for Yuma's grandpa, so he insisted we stay at his house for a few days. We did so, under the pressure of an elder. 3 days later, Mikey showed up. He sat on the couch and silently stared at me. When I wouldn't let him in, Mikey sat outside the door all day. I asked him what he wanted. He squirmed for a long time. I miss you. I almost fell over. I told him, your mom is at your house. I'm Ms. Bella. Lily is your mom. Don't get that wrong. Mikey's eyes watered. I regret it, okay? Mommy, please come back. Shouldn't we be a family again? We're family for both lives. Can you leave us? I smiled. You know we're family from both lives? But which one did you choose? He decided to commit suicide with Jake. The deaths nearly drove me crazy. After waking up again, he also chose to go with Jake to find Lily. Now he was saying that he was sorry. I looked at Mikey. You're 18, right? Stop acting like a kid. It's gross. Mikey cried as I chased him off, screaming, I hate you. Chapter 9. Mikey stopped coming, so Jake came to find me. First, he sent 9,999 roses. Then he set off fireworks and put on a show of love for me on TV. He came after an eternity, in a suit and holding a red rose. You always said I wasn't good enough to you. Will you let me try again? I was furious. They couldn't handle the fact that I was happy. Can you stop with the grand gestures? Your presence is a burden. Every time you show up, my husband worries. I can't change who I love. I want to love him for the rest of my life. So don't show up again. Don't bother my family, or I'll go back to Washington tomorrow. Jake smiled sadly. Is that what you think of me? I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was bothering you. He looked broken as he left. I'll come back when you're less angry. In the end, Jake never came back. He went bankrupt. Someone reported him for tax fraud and stealing company secrets. Jake was busy in court, and Lily took all his money and left. She started dating a rich man. But the man's wife publicly humiliated her and threw her out. I never heard from her again. I saw the 999,999 roses in Mr. Jones's yard and frowned, but my daughter was lying in the flowers, laughing. Mr. and Mrs. Jones were smiling. Yuma, in a gaudy red suit, winked at me. Don't worry. I knew that Yuma had caused Jake's bankruptcy. And that Yuma had tricked Lily. I wouldn't blame him. He was just punishing everyone who had ever bullied me. If I were Yuma, I would have done the same. Love is taking over, destroying, and cannot accept a third person. I laughed, hugging him and calling him old and acting young. Yuma complained. The competition is too great. If I don't try, I'll lose you. My daughter chimed in, if Dad doesn't try, I'll lose Mom. Emotions surged through my heart. This was everything I had ever wanted. On my daughter's first day of middle school, we threw a party. I saw Jake again. He didn't have the same swagger as before. When he saw Yuma and me, he gave a perfect smile. Mr. Foster, Ms. Foster. Yuma casually chatted with him. Jake said goodbye. As he left, he looked at me. Someone told Yuma about Jake. He had a lot of determination. He went bankrupt and spent years getting back on his feet. Yuma scoffed, hugging me. Your ex-husband is trying. He said he wouldn't come here again. I wonder if he can do it. You're not going to change your mind, are you? He was about to cry, so I said, no. I wouldn't trade Yuma for 100 Jakes. He was satisfied. I leaned on him, wondering how I could have given up this good husband and daughter. The end. And that's a wrap on today's reading here at Booked for Drama. If you felt anything, rage, swoon, secondhand heartbreak, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow drama lovers. If you have any requests, drop them in the comments. Until next time, keep reading, and keep the drama on the page.